Hey everybody, do you have an exciting story that you've always wanted to share? Maybe an adventure that changed you or a magical place you discovered? Well, now's your chance. You can send your story to the email below, and if selected, we'll animate it just like we did this one. So grab a pen and paper and start writing. You never know, your story could become a classic, just like this one. Once upon a time, in the sunny school under the trees, there was a very special student named Leo. His fur was soft and fluffy, and his bushy tail twitched with excitement whenever the wind blew. Now Leo wasn't the smartest student, and he wasn't the strongest or the fastest. But what Leo lacked in skills, he made up for in enthusiasm and a big, cheerful smile. There were all kinds of animals at the sunny school. Benny the beaver with his strong teeth, Lila the ladybug with her spotted wings, and Mrs. Owl with her big, round glasses perched on her beak. But no matter their differences, they were all best friends. They learned about nature in the forest classroom and sang songs in the mossy music nook. And when lunchtime came, they'd all chatter excitedly and run to their cubbies to grab their lunches before heading to the picnic tables under the old oak tree. For Leo, lunchtime was special for two reasons. First, it was a chance to catch up with his friends and hear about their weekend adventures, and second, it was what his mum packed for him in his little bark lunchbox. Every day, Mama Squirrel packed him a surprise. Sometimes it was a drawing of a silly face made from a leaf, sometimes a pinecone puzzle or a riddle written on a curled fern. Each surprise was different, and each one was more exciting than the last. That morning, Leo carefully placed his lunchbox in the cubby carved into the old tree stump. He gave it a happy pat, twitched his nose, and ran off to his first class. In the forest classroom, Leo sat between Benny and Lila. He listened attentively while Mrs. Owl read about the different types of clouds floating in the sky outside. Then Benny shared his weekend adventure building a dam with his family, and Lila showed off her collection of colorful pebbles she found on her walk to school. Soon it was time for music class. As they all sang and played their instruments, Leo couldn't help but tap his foot along to the beat. But his mind kept wandering to his lunchbox. What would Mama Squirrel have packed for him today? Was it a new game, or maybe a tasty treat? When the tinkling of bells announced lunchtime, Leo quickly gathered his things and dashed to his cubby. But when he got there, his heart sank. His lunchbox was gone. He blinked, then blinked again. The cubby was empty. All he saw was the moss growing on the tree stump. Leo felt a lump forming in his throat. He sniffed back a tear. "Maybe I left it somewhere else," he whispered. He checked behind the giant mushroom stools, under the fern carpet where they had a snack, and even inside his satchel, but it was nowhere to be found. His little heart pounded in his chest. What if it's gone forever? Suddenly, Ava the rabbit hopped over. "What's wrong, Leo?" she asked, tilting her long ears. "I can't find my lunchbox," Leo said softly. "I've looked everywhere." "Oh no, want me to help you look?" "Thank you, Ava," Leo said. Together they searched the reading burrow where they liked to curl up with a good book, the mossy music nook where they made their instruments, and even asked the owls in the library tree. But the lunchbox was nowhere to be found. Dejected, Leo and Ava returned to the picnic tables. The other students had already gathered there. "Has anyone seen a lunchbox with sparkly stickers?" Leo asked, his voice small. "I saw one near the drawing hollow," said Benny. "It looked like it had a smiley face on it." "I think it rolled under the bench," added Lila, her voice filled with concern. As the other students dispersed to continue the search, Leo thanked them and whispered to Ava, "Maybe it really is gone. Maybe someone took it." "Don't worry, Leo," Ava said, nudging him with her shoulder. "We'll find it. We just need a plan." Then an idea sparked in her eye. Let's ask Mrs. Finch. She's so smart, maybe she'll know what to do. They hurried over to Mrs. Finch, who was sitting on a branch outside her classroom, surrounded by her baby finches. "Mrs. Finch, we need your help," Leo exclaimed. "My lunchbox is missing. It has these stickers of spaces and planets. Do you know where it could be?" Mrs. Finch cocked her head and ruffled her feathers. Let's see. Class, has anyone seen a lunchbox with starry stickers?" she chirped gently. A few paws went up. A couple of wings flapped. "I think I saw one near the drawing hollow," said Benny the beaver. "Maybe it rolled under the bench," added Lila the ladybug. Mrs. Finch nodded. "An excellent lead. Let's follow those clues." She turned to the class. "Now remember, we must stay together and help each other. After all, we're a forest family." And so the search began. Some students went to the drawing hollow while others checked under the benches. Leo and Ava stayed close, whispering ideas and sharing concerns. Then from behind the tall herb shelf came a quiet voice. "I think I found it." It was Jordan the hedgehog. Slowly he walked out, carrying Leo's lunchbox in his paws. "It looked like mine," he murmured. "I took it by mistake."
"I'm really sorry." Leo's eyes lit up. "It's okay. They do look alike." Jordan handed it back, his cheeks pink. "I didn't open it." "Thank you," Leo said. And he meant it. Gently, Leo opened the lid. There were some acorn crackers, forest berries, and a note from Mama Squirrel. It said, "Even when you feel lost, kindness will help you find your way." Leo smiled.
He looked around at the clearing, at Ava, who had helped, at Jordan, who had been honest, and at his classmates still chatting and munching happily. Lunch had never tasted better. The rest of the day went by in a flurry of activity. After a fun game of tag during recess, Leo aced his spelling test. He even finished his cloud drawing in art class before the bell rang for the end of the day. As the forest animals gathered their things, Mrs. Finch cleared her throat. "Today you all showed the forest values," she chirped. "Sharing, honesty, and kindness. Remember, these aren't just words, they're actions that make our forest family strong." Leo stood a little taller. He knew he wasn't the strongest or smartest student, but he could always be kind. And as he skipped home with a skip in his step, he realized being part of a family wasn't just about who you were related to, it was about who you helped along the way. From that day on, whenever Leo felt lost or worried, he remembered Mrs. Finch's words. And whenever he saw his friends, he thought of how they had all come together to help him find his lunchbox. Because in the sunny school under the trees, they weren't just students and teachers, they were a forest family.